Okay. Makabala Facebook is also live in Facebook. The makabala buwak nyeti os maka yamkin nyerdu baden fa gidan filmon da utsam yadda yamkin uh, buwak gokti dit yamkin balibal dit yamkin the question that I put it up there. What can we do differently to build a prosperous Mabaan? And we are going to examine all the layers that can help us to build a prosperous Mabaan. And I believe is also on the Facebook and YouTube. Uh, and I'm going to use different languages here since it is our platform. Also, people that will be listening in the Facebook and also in YouTube could be a different people and different, people from South Sudan. They are going to watch this too. That's why I'm going to use all the languages as much as possible to make sure that the message that I want to put it over there should be received by everyone and all of us. For ikin maka ana maria kan pono works in ek maka chi wana dita yumkin ang tamap kan ya pono baw angka dita yumkin amob kombolium so wanyal ya pochin comrade Butrus da pochin fa gene bo dita yumkin gwag awal ya go pochin ek ma dita yumkin ben wa ek mumkin maga bisharik bat shwe yumkin ko dinyal sharik. This is a very important topic that we need to tackle as a Maban in diaspora, as well Maban in homeland, for the future that we are looking as a Maban people. There are certain things that we need to do differently for the ikmakachi achene. Poi bal na chung dito yung poi ikmban chotten ti poya dito ikmbuakan anka banda o dinya okay wa and how we can help our system banji to build that system that can reflect, a system that can also help us to have a sustainable uh, development that we want in our county. But I think the question that I'm going to look today is what can we do differently to build a prosperous Maban? And this is a very broader question for us to examine and define, and also looking at alternatives that can help us as a county. What can I do differently? And this question also reflect to every and each one of us. And how can we do differently as a Maban people to build a prosperous Maban? فده يمكن questionين يعني لإيجن أي من قولني كيف إيجن ممكن we can play a different roles. Sometimes we blame the system, we blame the government, we blame our leaders when we are not exploring the question of what can I do as a citizen of Maban to bring the changes that is needed in the county. You see, and to ask that question, we also need to think what are the resources that we can use in order for us to build a secure, a peaceful, and prosperous Maban. So these are the questions that we need to look at it as a people. لانه يمكن كي من be meaning ban ba لان hakuma usban junub yae ban junub na man yae ikin bordo ka kay maban makabala lazim punktin podan yani bara min makabala di yumkin kan banji ikin punktin podan aginan ka idal de mumkin yani participate in the developments of our county. And in order for us to build a peaceful county, there are layers that we need to do it as a citizen of that county. Bordo, there are layers that we also help our government to see in a big picture. For the yumkin again من جناي about it يمكن some of you need to understand this because we've been in the game of complaining, game of blaming, But we are not asking a simple questions. What can you do? What can I do? As a Maban, to see things has to be different in Mabaan County. How can I participate in the developments of our county? How can I be participate in the security of our people? You see, for that mumkin ikwetin, ik mumkin totini le agina mumkin. How can we do that? For ana bishufinu, in the side of the government, there are five things that the government should do. The local government should have to focus on it, in order to build a secure, peaceful, and prosperous Maban land. Land now focus with the inu, not duatining for Melekalba, not duatining for Juba ba. Lano Juba is big, is doing for the country. You see, Juba is doing for the country. Melkal is doing for the state. He can focus with the Inkeng Maban. We need to focus on how we can build our own country so that our people will live peacefully in our land. See, these are the focus that we should be always focusing on this. And one of the focus that I want to ask to assist our leaders, whether in the national unit government, whether in Mabaan County, number one, we need to improve the local government system. To address the developments, itabambok the institution lazim kante. Okay? You cannot build, you cannot bring development when the systems are not function. You see, and that is one of the things, by United States, Canada, the first thing people has to focus on the system. Because when we talk about the system, people that can drive that system, how can we build a system that is function, efficient, and system that can be able to deal with what is happening in Mabaan? That should be number one focus for any leader, Mabaan, any leader that want to build a peaceful, secure, and prosperous Mabaan land. Because the moment you build the institutions, the moment you build the institution, that institution will function and help the system to protect itself. You see, like now in the county, is it education system is function? And who is the director of the education in Mabaan land? Is it the health system is function? Who is the director, of the director of health in Mabaan County? Is it the security system is working? How the security system is, protecting the citizen in the county? For that, these are the broader areas that we need to look at it as a king Mabaan. Building and improving the local system or governance system that can help us to address the needs of Mabaan people. لانه يمكن كاين من قبل بيمن يمكن مقتن تنن قبل بيتك في ملكال من قبل بيت جوبا we can build the local system. It is us. We need to have a master plan, by addressing the government system in the local government system. Even we need to have a master plan, and master plan that can help us to look at what are the priorities. Bangi ban Mabaan. You see, what are the priorities that we need to address? When we ask this, then collectively, and then we need to think, baramin wakabaldi tiyam atfa melika, baramin siyasat bita Junuba Sudan. Lana sataban, if you look, yan tadiya tambal bet bara, zema ikon ko tadiya bet malut. Tadiya bet bara, sometimes is very severe, will affect us severely. The system in the bone is not, the local government is not function. You see, for Ashinkida we need to help our leaders to think and build a system that can work for all of us, can work for our people. For that mumkin, I think that's number one. We need to address, is if our leaders, they collectively, we can see improving the local system. You cannot, you cannot elect leaders to address things when there is no system. لأنه the first thing we want to do is to improve and build a system that can work for everyone. لأن leader, when you will be elected as a leader, you are going to work on that system. And if the system is not function, no matter what, whether you are educated, you are a talented person, you cannot efficiently address the needs of Maban because the system itself is not function. You see, عشان كده يعني دايما if you look at the developments aspects, it's all about system. It's all about system. ليه أقول only لأن بني is ready for development. And when Banigan ready for development, you can do the young Kumbal Kumpoya, how we're going to operate. You see? And operational, if the system is operational, then if one temporation, even we can be able to, to function and efficiently coordinate all the developments and make sure that our people benefit from, any activities, any services that we can provide to our people. For that, أنا بشوف إنه number one we need to address as a Maban people. فده يمكن the local governance system. That is very, very important. The second thing is, when the system is functioning, then you need to invest in human capitals. Human capitals, then ibal system is working, right? You have an educational system, you have a health system. Then you need nurses. You need teachers, you need engineers, civil engineers. Then that will lead us to focus on building or investing on human capital by providing training to our people and giving them scholarship, let them go to the different universities, different training skills, and then the skills that they acquire from different trainings they can bring back and help to build and apply and then help our people. لانه بدون human capacity، بدون human capital يمكن بقدر ممكن اوتنون قد كما بان با. فعشان كده انا بشوف انه number two, as a leaders we need to think about building a human capital, human capacity development. That is very, very important. Let me go on. As we speak, the education system is not functioning, but Mabaan. لأنه ما في capacity building. There is no trained teachers that can be able to address the needs of education in Mabaan County. For that, any resources that we want to allocate, we have to put it in the human capital development, whereby we can train teachers, we can train nurses, we can provide all the needs for us to have a skillful people that can be able to help in building يعني Maban County طبعا. فده أنا بشوف إنه نمرة اثنين, building a human capacity which is investing on the human capital. طبعا يعني إغمق شديد لأنه بالجديد يمين بوغن engineers بلوتي وسينايب as you speak لما نيجي نقول نيني يعني إغن بلك lack of work كتير بانجي. وده بورينا إنه يعني إغ لازم نفكر كويس ككاونتي كمخبلة يبقى مثقفين أوسي كcitizen of that county. إنه إغن we can be able to look at a different angles. فكيف إنه إغ ممكن يورط مكا يعني إغ مقتن نليد وتكان بالكان county. لأن إنما when you build the system, you need the people that operate that system. مش عشان بس build the system. You need the skillful people that can be able to manage, to address, and also make things work in the county. وده يرجعنا في human capacity developments that we need to happen in Mabaan County. لأن إحنا من جو نيني كين مبان كين كارد كتير ده بلوتي. By now ممكن إحنا كان لمن جيتم بانجي. We can take them home. We can help us. You see, okay, Gina County has to work on that and make sure that Maban Makabalabura talented, you need to bring them home. Umagadeni maga civil servants. They are not a political, affiliated. Some of them are engineers, some of them are teachers. They have nothing to do with the politics. Uminek nangdi, gina ikin makabaladi yumkin county and makabali leaders, we need to think how we're going to build a human capacity development in Mabaan County. For that, you are saying no. Number two is very, very, very important for us. Yeah. For that, you can how we can build the system and how can we have the human capital, which is we can invest in education, we can invest in training and workers, we can invest, yeah, in the human capacity developments, whereby ikin mumkin we are lacking yumkin maka be ikmak kan ngabanji. For that, mother law siyasa, these are people that have some their own careers, and they can help us in bringing a development that is needed in Maban County. For that, I think number two is very, very, very important. And by doing that, then what we can do is we can use them. We can use them for training skillful workers and train the people that can help and provide services to our people. At the moment, we can give the scholarship. Le makabala yom kumbara when the bongo the working keg bal dear chuntumbara. In came mingabal menaket nigba. We need to provide our own scholarship in Maban County. This is the war of illiteracy that we need to fight this war, because illiteracy cannot take us anywhere. If we don't fight illiteracy, then we are not going to go anywhere. Ashenkida, investing in human capital, I think, is the most important thing for the county to go ahead with the development that we need in the land. For Dayumkin, I think Genman Gena, yeah, URCA is very, very important. Then Ignaman go nene, if you look at statistic, fi happen, Igli sabal gungoya in terms of yani maybe education and comparison to other counties, the yumkin, they are doing a lot by providing scholarship like nek makabala or dubara dokti but inka gabila ka county ka leaders in the county. We need to do something. I cannot build county alone, and you cannot build county alone. You need people. You need people that can help building a sustainable development in the county, and those people has to have a skills. They have to have expertise in their own fields. In that way, even the young communities, even also we can be able to build a county that can reflect to all of us. For that, the Yumkin number two. Number three, to bring changes in the Maban County, we need to invest in business. And I talked about this in several times. When you look in the Maban County, the business have been controlled by other people. The business has been controlled by people that tomorrow they might go against the county. Lan iza ikin magidirna inno maik makadat yam kumbala we didn't support them. Ashan mumkin they can build a business that can help the county to move forward. For economic can book the road non-ba. I think we need to support the business people, and support has to come from the county, from the leadership. Lanu itabang bog the drive, and ibog the business kandi. And when you collect the drive, then the drive you can take it back to in forms of development. Like in American nasa from Maban County, yani sukta control it by Maka Perkin. ويقبل كما يمكن capital با يعني في سوق جبا وما مو سوق يمكن إثيوبيين and ما في السودان دارفور وهنا. Then what prosperity that we can think will happen to our people? It's nothing. لأن ما كان they are taking the money. They just come there making business, taking them all the money that they make there. إيه وقت ممكن نقبل بيجاكين. Then count دالتنين بدن زيدا. فعشان كده أنا بشوف إنه يعني in order for us to make Maban as a prosper land, then we need to encourage our people and support our local business. People that have interest in business, we need to support them. If they don't have any skills, then it is the responsibility of the county to make sure that training has to take place. We have to train our people to have a business in their own way of how they're going to build their own business in Maban County. For that, we need to invest on this. And without business, county cannot go anywhere. Without business, we cannot end any poverty within our people. without business in tambaltan bilba bilka de yam kin bagda business can control with maka perken, then our county, yeah, the political stage will be determined by those who have money, you know. Pashinkida is very, very serious for us, King Maban, to think about this yani, in a very, very big perspective. Lanu ikmakabalashi, we suppose whatever we have in a little, we need to invest banji, you know, and that in that way we can encourage, you can invest it, you can hire some people, and that's where also jobs will be created in the Maban County. Then you can go in, most of our people they're working in the NGOs, and NGOs are not the sustainable jobs. Anytime they can go, anytime they can close down when the donors are not funding them, they can close down and they can, you know, leave the area. Then like when you invest in the business and entrepreneurship, then you are independent and you will have your own, you know, business that make you a boss in your own business. فده ممكن اي دبر منك اتباع. عشان كده انا بشوف انه يعني وضع بتاع business بالمبان يعني to me is not a right way that we can leave our people not invest in the market يعني في بالمبان. فده يمكن I think من yours is very nice. For us as a leaders, we need to think about helping our people, to think about making business in the county. Even ممكن the county has the support like bill قبل bill تاني and bill قبل ده يمكن bill بتاع اسمه شنو bill بتاع نيون. Why not we can يعني make that money as a IGA, which is income generations. يعني, always the UN development goals, they are using it. فإيجي من مفترض we can use that money and then يعني majority ما قبل interest on the business إيكن جورتن let them go and invest, and then إيكن we need to have an interest إيكن. In that way طبعا bill ممكن بربا or إيكن we are يعني spreading all the benefits يعني to everyone in Maban County. لأنه مaka if somebody created the business, then he's going to hire many people. And if you hire many people, then you can share the prosperity with those who you are hiring. لكن إذا bill يعني ببل جاسي يون جن واحد يعني bill أوتم برا أمتن عمو bill ناس ما قادرين إنه to think what they can do for this money so that it can benefit the entire people of Maban. Nangaba. Land income generation that is very, very important. And I think I was a coordinator when I was working with the ZUA about income generation activities, whereby we can select people and then give them money and then they go and invest. And then the government will put the system to monitor, to help them, to train them how they're going to invest on this money. And after it converted to benefit, and then we're going to take money back based on the interest طبعا نانجك. فI believe إنه يعني بالكده يمكن أوتما for all these years a bill بتاعين bill يوندا can invest it in this way. I believe by now even though يمكن بالكن كلمة بان بالنو business banji in a very, very rapid way that can reflect and help our people to benefit from that. فأنا بشوف إنه ده يمكن priority business. We need to invest and improve our people and give them training so that they can be able to invest in the business. Ngejin upon in my taban ikin we have not been trained in the business. Lakin banke wakati ni kinene. Yani if we are not having a business in Buin town, then the decisions of the county will be controlled by the people that have money. You see, business people, they are the one who control the decision making. Business people, they are the one who control the political system. Ninyamo is a igmbatan maka at the jarduang ban maboin kontia. Dan ngiting ni podan. Yani ikmum kunung tuma mushkala ni lido because igbal kumbilba. And bilka bet kumata da yom na yam badi. Lanu bilka nene is not yani secure. Lakini man count baltati maka at the jarduang banji. Then mountain, and we can be able to use their money for the for the best interest of the development in the county. But I think that's one of the thing, and I think it's very, very important. for us to look at it and very, very critically and think beyond this. I hope our leaders they listen to this. لأنه طبعا يعني جنيور سبانجي يهمل مشكلة شديد في مشكلة بتاع التجارة. والتجارة is controlled by maka porgen ne ممكن نوبة ne ومaka بلدة تمقالا. Then يهم بان يوت نيوكي لأن بان عشان كي جيت ما كي تبلك. بان عشان كي جيت كي برضه يبوك أمن وأمن تام بوك دوك بلك. بلك أوت وتي إذا يهم باك مaka نو تجارة بان كنت. You see, إذا إن كانت أكون بتملكها ده يمكن إك بيانك إيه مكتن. I believe مغنن ده يمكن إيه مكتن با لأنه there is a competition now. You know, there is a competition in Upper Nile State. تانو كي لومشو كان مفروض يعني Indian conference, all of them from different political divide, and they sit down and discuss the future of Lumushu. Kegin Mayut, I think last 2 weeks ago, they also sat down and discussed about this. Keg Malut did the same. Keg Rangbordu, they are doing the same. What about us? You see, فعشان كده أنا بشوف إنه يعني we need to help our people and we need to talk a lot about all these issues لأنه إجمعتن لما قبلهم بوغنا تجارة و if we invested on the business then إجن ده يمكن شنو كوتن برا and we can be able to help and make Mabaan a prosperous land for everyone in Mabaan County. لأن أنا بشوف إنه if you look at the statistic with the UN but Mabaan Taban is one of the growing towns. One of the growing towns, even in the Mustawa Beta Junub Sudan. Like even we are not utilizing that. We are not, capitalizing from that, population that we have in the county. And yeah, Manizamad Borduchon almost now 14 or 15 years with Banmaban since 2010. We didn't capitalize it on it. For that, Yamkin is a wake-up call for all of us to think in how we're going to support our people in terms of business so that they can be able to compete in the business market في بوين تاون طبعا وده يمكن جد من جنيورس number 3 we need to talk about it and we need to focus more on business, focus more on business. وده I can give you the examples. يعني ليه الجنوب لما ممكن system ده غير system جنوب ده جنوبين they are fighting for the good system. When the good system will come to South Sudan, then إيه مكتوب بالبا as we speak إيه من قديم بالكم بال a millionaire في جنوب السودان با at 1,000 يعني we don't have it. عشان كده نحن بنشوف إنه we can utilize the resources that we have in Mabaan land to make sure that our people are to be ready for South Sudan that is perceived to coming soon. فده يمكن I think جنا يا بوا ده يمكن to to talk about it لأنه طبعا إهماك شديد ككينبان to think beyond what we are doing now. فده يمكن جن من جنا بلانيني. إغاكتنغانو one of the key industry that we need to focus on it is farming. Dong. فما يخلاسة كان يرسران ران طبعا ليران become very focus in the government of South Sudan. لأنه ران the government of South Sudan focus on rang because of the farming. وإيكن بنوان ممكن بالكم one of the land fertile land that can be able ممكن feed Mabaan and feed جنوب السودان or Upper Nile كله زي ما إيكن طبعا we fed Southern Blue Nile in 1950s. If you go back to the books, I did the course with agriculture طبعا for 6 months, and when I look at the historical background فيمكن طبعا ما يمكن كان يوم ذاك Southern Blue Nile تم making في 1950 وده بورينا انه land بتاعيكن تارين طبعا there is very is a very productive land لكن we are not using it. عشان كده يمكن in order for us to bring our people from so we need to have a different ways انه ما يمكن دلالة انه دون ده is not only for consumption. Dong taban is for market. Like now, Tong Ukraine. If you look at the Ukraine war, is blocked tons of maize out of Africa, out of the global war. Then they can focus on Zara. Unkadinya Sabanuban is a dongen in a way that we just think about the market for the business. For I believe banabanda يعني إيه ممكن بنأكل مايكن إيه ممكن بقدر شنو يعني بنأكل جنوب السودان from the farming land يعني ممكن نانتن إيجن فعشان كده إيجن we need to encourage our people يعني ما إيجن طب مقتل لأن جنبلا إيجن تاچا I remember on طبعا يعني I know my grandpa طبعا has a name إنه بوغاية توم whereby ممكن on كان بيدون إنتنا بودن أويا بين بودن أويا وستولجيالا أوسي يعني بوغاية كانين fa igna man otnina non tam luom tu opare يعني luom tu I remember in 19 I think 90 يعني luom tun kida nana barta mage toljiela imo toljiel wenne or to kanyen يعني nana barta ma to winti bena lad nana barta ma konpelo o de bandolen luom tun sak di mumkin dokya and then ina man dokte pugula pugna spieba and luom pieba bes pugula ibeda yarang budan fa I remember that imiyet inno ban banda إذا إيكن ركزنا تماما للزراعة والزراعة إيك ممكن إن حالات إيك ممكن بقدر يعني يعمل زراعة مش لمربى ولا لإندايا نوس ولا وقت زي جمل لأن ده جينا وقت طبعا دوك ما يمكن تبقى يمكن نانتنك فإخلاص we need to create يعني a mindset of when you farm you need to take it to the market. You see, لأنه maka أنت بنكشيني كنين يعني maka controlling the government is the farmers. You see, it is the big يعني big industry in the Western world, particularly in the United States and Canada. Ikan yirsa maka controlling the political system in the United States is the farmers. ليه؟ لأنه إكن بالكن big land. إكن they can feed us in Canada. إك they can feed us everywhere. عشان كده إكن ممكن شنو؟ عشان كن موالتن برا let's assist our people. Let's help our people. Can leadership in the point out, we need to make sure migrant understand the importance of farming. You see, for that economic they can be rich. Even without going to the market, they can be rich. You see, like in we need to help them. We need to, train them. The importance of being a farmer. فده يمكن I think من جنا يعني you are saying is very 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 important for us to think about it and for us to build the system that our people should know that farming is one of the industry that can make you rich and that can help the society to fight the hunger and fight and all sorts of poverty. For that يمكن I think number 4 I think it's very, very important that we need to teach our people about the farming, not only for consumption, but for business too. فده يمكن جنبالنا. فإذا أكي دوية إنا من يرتبط مبان يعني زي ما جبريل ده يوم قوم قوم ولكن ورجعين با وإذا ده بالكم فنانين با لأن إنا من بالكم فنانين بانجي إبالك ما كانوا رسم أوكي وما ما فنون يعني برتم تقولين إنه ما فنون all this will add it up into the economic of the county. لكن يرسل كده مناسا إنك مبان ما قدرنا إنه to produce somebody who's talent in the art. لأنه وخنين كل وقتنا إكم بسايد ومن ممكن بسايد ما بفكر جنا يمكن يعني من بلبا حكومة من مو system. You are the one who can be able to help your people to see in a big picture. I remember من قتام يميت إنه يوم ذاك طبعا بنتوق لما we were reading some of the books textbooks and we went to the discussion إنه شركة دارنا من بين بانجي ده كان شوت أورجا وني أورني شونا إك مبان طبعا يعني أورجا مبان أورجا نبر بوي نبر نونا شان بون كان بوهم building استرا نانا يوم كي then compensation was given and then compensation was given ما يجي ما كده يوم كنا سياسين ده زمانا نيجي زبالن حكومة السودان and I obtained this document I think maybe 2 days ago ما يجي ما قبل في حكومتي في زمن I think 2008 and 2009 نمن أورتوك نمن إيكتم برا ma unga bilku shirka beta petrol ek unga bil and bill na man ek un kitma ekin siyasana church ni Khartoum. I remember this yani when I read this immediately come I mean land of 2008 ya bento kunno ni kulleji atle Khartoum dienge mate ujoli beta zaman da kamoktina fa ekina man un kitma bil o bil kana mafrut o dum watnent jong bil mo jiti and then ekin kan balkan discussion pokan ka siyasin that will bring me the idea bit agriculture ekin kan churchin and they were discussing in ya jama bilda uma bil muwatnin in the concept bita shirka dar in makanene ngwal nubur shirka dar ke maik maban pi bantuwa u bil kenen mafrud od ekinti and they can go and help to build their life in other place wa some of them mumkin od agriculture and then ekin am church ki siyasin bita ekin ana mader nashkuru ism yen gek da mokchen jeji wakon ana mader nashkuru is yen gek fa ekin church ni nyo inne ya jama maka go ka bil ek muwatnin da adogo osmaka chungo no na bil ngod majitin yani bil ngod majitin and then ekinde de yam bil ngodiji o maga group akki dogo go ka no builda it nik ma wertum babur let them start making agriculture that bringing me to this point and maka chung tam go no jol ga bal go ba bil ngod majitin da siyasim betayik bil ngod majitin e menga de ede knek wenai ek bu bon campaign but because of ekne menga bal interest dida yomkin wala ma werk babur ane artwag ba and dida yomkin ekin pedenos bil ngodiji and I believe zaman bita John Ibo wa dida yomkin gena poda na ngeki John Ibo and ek dida yomkin ben ma wer lon gabala yani I think ngoy mabanji weg yomkin church nini umdan tuak and then I think he gave them some other things without worrying innu ikin kamaka leaders yan the idea bita innu bilka balaba bilka baya on we should invest on the agriculture wo idea yani group min ek group ak dogo tam go ag bil wel ning de babur osi yani babur in wert babur ma ortam non ka dukyel os babur yani galapa po poy osi yani greda mumkin yani poy pogda fa jolani warna nu ci ber lan ek dama siyasin bo hono bil and then they don't want to invest our people to invest in the ideas that was very productive ideas by some leaders in ya jama wa welcome te babur bita pien فجنين ده يمكن المشكلة اكن بوغنوس اكن بلد يمكن ودجي وبالامي فده يمكن is one of the يعني scandal we never been talking about until يعني maybe 2 days ago we got it when we are searching انه مشكلة بتاع بانتوك ده جوتشن وتي and مشكلة ده كان يعني زمان يمكن بلغن في حكومة السودان ليه يعني مشكلة بينيار باوي we were making a research somewhere and then we got this information فده يمكن جنبال نين that's not the agenda that's I just want to make it يعني I want to make us a reference even kamaka leaders we need to think to transform the agriculture يعني farming in our area let's invest in this farming because farming is not a non-renewable resources oil is a non-renewable resources it can disappear but if we invest in agriculture, if we invest and train our people to know the importance of agriculture, then we cannot be dependent on oil or on whatever goals it. We can make our land as a productive land, and we can feed our people. We can make business on it, and we can be rich in that. But one thing we can do is we need to have the system, like I said it earlier in the first. We need to have a system that is function, that has a vision for the land and our people to get out from this poverty. You see, for that yumkin, I think one of the thing, and Anna Bishufin is very, very, very important for us to make sure that farming should be the most important thing that we can improve the lives of our people. If we want to fight poverty and if we want our people to be prosperous, we need to invest on the agriculture. Land is one of the most important industry in the world. We should not be ignoring. Lanu ikanirtizema guangya bugaya kulu. Until now, we are protecting Bugaya. Until now, we don't want anybody to go and invest there because that's the lifeline of Mabaan people. Father Yumkin, I think, so we need to talk about this, and we need to make sure that as a system, yeah, and anybody who comes to the leadership in Mabaan County, you need to think about all these things. You see, the last thing that I talked is what was the Iglas and look at Boynkont. Why people are you know productive. Lanu Hakuma is not helping them. Even Kamakabala system, we need to make sure make useful of our people. Lanu economic da baya budamba, baya tumako. Or population balaban banasa, it can help us to build a robust system that can benefit our people, that can address the issues of poverty, the issues of whatever we see is not happening in Banmaban. So we can use that population and all the resources that we can have to address the needs of our people. For that, Yumkin, I think some of the most important thing that I see ka you are saying no yana bog kan ngat iginti or bog the we need to focus on it. So how can we improve this? You see, how can we improve this? For one of the improvements, make the system to address all the items that I mentioned is one of the thing is the transparencies. So the government has to be transparent. Transparency is the most important thing in improving the governance system. Land is a impact transparency. How can we lead our people? We cannot be leading our people by deceitful. We cannot deceive them that we are leaders and we are not helping them. You see, I think you can hear BDM circulating this and these days about Solfa went to Rwanda, and then you can see how Paul Kagame addressing the crowd in Yajama. You cannot be a leader when you are people walking naked. You cannot be a leader when your people doesn't have any food. You cannot be a leader when your people are living in fear. Without worrying inu is a may at kegum budan amukoy. O king at the word at the bar. The worrying shunu immediate again. How it can be interpreted. Pashankida, as a leader, you need to have a transparency and accountability. Then transparency be okay. So let me take the example, the obvious example that we are doing. Build with a nyonda for all this year. There is no any transparency in that money. Even we are not telling our population, these are the money we received from the oil revenues, and this how we're going to invest. Balaba. The data is not available for the public. Pashenkida, Anabishuf Inu, in order for the leader to succeed, they need to be transparent. And accountability is very important, because accountability will assist a leader to know whether you are doing well or you are going in a wrong direction. You see, ngejin pon tambalaban jinu baranda ba. Lakini inga keng maban. Lano wahanang tining banubanda, manang tilamaik is not going to be for other South Sudanese. Is a banmaban dem ninya dem ninya ikin. Kamay nga amakun, who cares in the government of South Sudan? Pashenkida ikin kakeng maban makabala leadership. We need to think beyond what we are doing in Mabaan County. We have to think beyond what we are doing in Mabaan County. Then the affected children, the children that are not going to school, but tomorrow, yagdadan. Wada nilid ekmunk yorde fursaba. Ulom da odumente, ma odigante, makabalaka leaders. Ashinkida, any leader who think about education of his people, that leader is really seeing the future of the generation. Lano, you cannot be a good leader when your people are illiterate. By saying illiterate, there is no any education system. But even we can produce leaders if we don't have any education system in Mabaan County? How can we compete in the standard of South Sudan when we don't have any educated people? Pashankida, investing in our people is the most critical issue that we need to address immediately. It doesn't need tomorrow. Lani jeka going on the program that is a different thing. But we need to talk about the issues that can move. And I hope our leaders, they can listen to this. You know, Lani Paul Kigame come in my yashi amukonyi, my yashi jonu wente, and then you call yourself a leader. You see, that cannot take us anywhere. You cannot live in Juba and while your people are suffering at home. The imak daba. Fashion kidana bishuf inno transparency and accountability is the most critical thing for success of any leader. Lano transparency give you in whatever you do. It will come to the public, data, and everyone will access to what you're doing. Accountability, whatever you do, any project that you do, you can, make some, you can come up with other things and then address some of the malfunction or malpractices in the system. In that way, it can help you to see how you're going to allocate your budget, for the sake of development in the country. These are the things. And then one of the big challenges, yes, incentive is the bigger problem. For us, a leader, you need to work out supplementary budget. You cannot think about the government of Melakal to pay these people. Yes, some of the civil servants are paid by the state. Like ikamena mukban, mukban, we need to have a supplementary budget in order for us to support those who are working in the country. You cannot implement anything alone. You need these people. And in order for them to be efficient and they can function well and help you to address some of the question that you want to be addressed, then you need to give them incentive. You need to pay them incentive. For that the board we can take the direction of the county in the way that we want, and we can build Banban in a different way. Even if there is a chaos. Banaban is the peaceful one. It's ready for development. Mother logic. You see, Banaban is the law in how we can make sure the system has to function. That's it. Then the moment system function, it doesn't matter who can be a leader. You can be a leader, but you will be guided by the system. You see, you can be guided by any system that has built, like America. You cannot do anything alone. System will guide you, because system by itself has some people that are there to make sure that you have to lead people in the way that has been designed for the interest of the nation. I think you are saying we failed because we didn't build a better system. Until today, Banmaban has no any functional system. We need to think beyond what we are doing now in Mabaan County. Lannu is a making tabanino. Even we don't have any functional system, then we cannot do anything. It is not going to take us anywhere. You see, for it can be functioned by one person mind, and then it's going to end it. Is a menenda imabara, then kalas wagwag niyandi, and then you are going to start from zero. Building a sustainable development or building a county, then you need to start from where you started, and then attalo mabara mena be jotut no yoni muzwag le tingba, because the system will tell him or her that this is how you're going to start, and then that person will start from where you stop and then move on to the next person, and then the system is going like that. Like system ba. What is happening is like yom that I remember the first thing okay alek tabani yaw nyam na mambeni John Igba, and then yaw wakan ya balbanji, and there is a argument is not a productive argument. You see, can you class you own the system, and then John Igba na man ikno bara jongon muftan wong the ying warta ying melakal in nan doka kat jij maktiba. So what kind of system is that? You see, for that worrying the system ban is not function, is dysfunctional. Ibes bet short pare bajegi also tabajegi. Well, that is very dangerous for the development that we want to benefit our people. You see, for I always see Indo, we need to build the system. It doesn't matter. It can ohuma mene, atolo ohuma mene ko kuntu wadaga, ohuma mena bulk maluma gaba. But if there is a system, that system will guide you. You know, that system will guide you. Fashion Kidana Bishufino is very, very important. That we need to look at the system, we need to look at the human capacity development, you need to invest in the business, and you have to, you know, technologically improve our agriculture system and then build a system that can operate and that can, you know, bail our people out of poverty. Because as we speak, our people are suffering. And then Lisa, we are saying that we are leaders. It's very shameful. Like Paul Kagame mentioned, you know, last 2 weeks ago. It's very shameful to us. Kakeng Mabaan yan. Lanumagin, they are the most suffering people now as we speak. Le, Lanu, we didn't build the system that can help them, secure them, and guide them. You see, فده يمكن I think, you know, جن جنا يدته يمكن I'm thinking is very, very important إنه يدام بوابات to make sure that, you know, everyone has to know this. لأنه you know من يرتبط بانسا population ban maban is going to be very dangerous. It's going to be dangerous if we don't act collectively, if we don't act in a way that we can secure the country. لأنه ban maban taban overwhelmingly different people and different groups of people living in Mabaan County. And no one is controlling them. There is no any way that we can be able to control them. You see, عشان كده إيه منك كودي وكاتبرة. Then if you build the county in the way that you want to protect your people, then the system has to protect the people. You see, فده يمكن جن من جنبنا. With the worst case scenario, like now we're seeing what is happening in Sudan. Most of my Sudan, and we don't know on the future what will happen. ممكن إيهن إكن شو ذاك من إتجنا بودنوس جنا وخيين برضو بيا. عشان كده إنك كان بان مقبلة أنا بشوف إنه this is the right time for us to think beyond the activities that we are doing in Mabaan County. لأنه إيهن we need to invest. You see, we need to invest, particularly in this human capacity development, which is the human capital. You know, like if we don't invest on human capital, then we're going to do the yumkin. Balabanji, we cannot get teachers, we cannot have nurses in the hospitals, and this is going to be a disaster. You know, it's going to be a disaster. But likely, ana bugul pochininu, ikin taban chunkumbara kengban, yani kimia bita jalia bita kengban balbar. As we speak, kengban kotir bala jamaj. Genabes bao inno, how we going to guide them? But not the band one. They should be guided from whom? Let me some with a vacation, like the vacation as a bay yumkin, shar sita, with the United States, Memorial words are Hamsa. Like you know, on 20 words are sita. Kegambala Jama Juwokanda, by now, the banji, we can fund them, we can give them everything they need. By a banji, some of them, Makabala Finon with the health, they can go and help in the hospitals. Makabala Finon with the education, let them go and teach for 3 months. That is how we can connect with, you know, home and diaspora. Like America Nangde, if we don't have any leader. America Nangde, Gina County. America Nangde, Gina Ikmakabala, you know, a way ban. Even we need to think beyond this. Lano baniginda, there is a problem. And Ekmaga Yumkin doesn't know what is happening. Banmaban is going to be a focal point for Upper Nile. You remember, Governor Ben means Governor Abudok, Be Deputy Ega, Ben Balkin, Pan Banmaban. We had 2 Ben Nung 3 weeks. Why they constantly coming Banmaban than other countries? Lanu, there is a economic. I was reading UN and I was reading some of the statement. إنه بنو له مستقبل لأنه طبعا دام في الليك like تانو نang tanasa برتن قال ناقي دام رينانسس في ليك like تانو ده will supply all the يعني electricity across East Africa. And then Banignia will be the first ban mumkin your the carbon biran. Banig will be the first inno that the yumkin naman as in gohnene akumagala taban jochin inno they are going to be a part of East African community. And they are talking about the central market. Then Banigin Tawali from Asosa Lebanoban, the business will be open. Then Incan, we are not ready, then our business will be overwhelmed by Macbeth. But we cannot chase them out. لأنه the East African Constitution enacted في هيلا طبعا بيقول انه اي بلك حق ممكن تشوف انه يبوخ. And that is going to be very dangerous for our people if we don't make sure our people are ready for these coming issues ممكن will affect our people. فده يمكن قبل لنا ما قد ده يمكن وانكو ده نال ممكن كده وده يمكن I think من قبل لنا و إكماك ممكن بوانكو دي نيالا كودي فده يمكن I think من قبل لنا طبعا I'm gonna close يمكن YouTube and Facebook shortly and then يمكن فده يمكن واحد من وقا يدلنا يمكن I felt like today I'm home and make sure that I have to talk about what can we do differently to build a secure and peaceful and prosperous Maban land. And I already mentioned most of the most important key elements that we need to look at it as a people. One of them is I mentioned that we need to improve the local government system, how it is operating, and how we can plan ahead and make sure that we can build a system that can help our people, that can secure the future of our people, and that can also guide the future leaders. And I think that's something I think is very, very important. I also talked about investing in business, investing on human capacity, education, health, and roads infrastructure. Those are the area that we need to invest on it, and those are the areas that we need to look at it, because we don't have to rely on the Upper Nile government. We have to do our own things. We need to invest as a county and make our people live happy life in their own land. Thanks God that our people are not living in Juba in a big number. They are not in anywhere. Only they lived in Sudan, but now all of them they are home. So we need to make sure that the system has to be function and the system has to work for all of us, and our people has to benefit from the system that we can build. And we also need to improve agriculture by applying the new technology that you can farm not only for consumption, but you have to farm to take it for the purpose of business. We have the experiences in United States, in Canada, and other developing countries. Farming industry is the most key industry that can generate income and also add into the economic of any country that is focused on the farming. So for us as a Maban, we have a vital line. We can be able to feed the Upper Nile state. We can feed the Bull Nile. We can feed the South Sudan as a country if we invest and prepare our people for agriculture development that we see as the lifeline of economic in our country in the future. So I think these are the most important thing that we need to focus on it, and we need to think about it. Uh, the other thing is um like I said it, we don't have to rely on the NGOs. NGOs can go can close down when the donors are not funding them. They can leave the place and move. NGOs present in Maban County because of the refugees, and we don't have to rely on them. We need to think beyond that. We have the resources, and those resources that we can put it in terms of investment. I think it will change the lifeline line of our people. It can help our people in terms of changing their lifestyles and also helping them to be prosperous in their own land. فده يمكن I think يعني واحد من واقع يورسيا دتنيني وإكدي يمكن ما كبوان كودي نيال دي يمكن كودي and that they يمكن I think in a balnain. So if somebody has a questions and want to ask question, you can write your question down, uh, and then I will be able to answer some of the question that you guys may put it down there. Magate kitidi yumkin. I know there is a burning question always. That oh yeah, I know the issue of land. The issue of land is the burning issue now. You see, and I know Arun is asking down about the land. You know, Jepterda is the focus. Yes, is the focus. But one thing we need to know, first, Terda is the most important thing. Yes, like in Taban, when we talk about this, we need to be a productive society so that we can not be misled by anybody to sell out our land in a cheap way. You see, and one of the reasons that we have the problem of land, particularly in the Western Mabaan, because our leaders didn't invest, in the future of Maban land. Le ego only in a manierti, and that's why I'm bringing up the issue with Bill Kakan Umuburo for 2008. I don't think if a Kamaga Bill Kaning is Kenyani. Bill Umuburo, then no the first Fidrodar Naman Ben Bonoban, Taban they want to build Nanabartuma Istra fi Banik Bantuagwen. And then jong did yumkin muatnin bita ikin wakanda yumkin makachina na wanti uh uljubura ashanekun they want to build that area as operational site for people that engineers that is working in the oil areas. Wa zaman that can claim bita land developer yani claim bita indu propaganda of the people like Stephen Dew and Dr. Harun Lulu. It's not there. And the government of Sudan knows very, very well, even if you look at the gesture, if you look at the gesture information, they know very well, this area is Samaban land. And because of lack of leaders that can think for the future of land, Chui Deng Yel. Chui Deng Yel namane Bene, Ashan non pok can say terra. Why do our leaders allow Chui to name the area as a Yel, Adar Yel? That worry that will take me to the human capacity development and thinking capacity. You see, you can do something now, but will affect our people in the future. And that's why I always focus as a leader whenever you want to make any decision. Don't do for the sake of doing it. You have to think critically. You have to think about the effect now and future. Look at the decision that Saitera made during the time Chwedeng na Manana Angi. It is affecting us. It is killing our people now because of the decision that they made on those days. You see? Ashinkida, land issue is very important. And land issue also, we need to invest on the people that can be able to explain. We need to explain. We need to corner people about the facts and also how we're going to dispute them. Is a human capacity. How are we going to dispute? That. فده بوريك انه زمن واي يعني اكن طبعا عمل مشكله انه they easily okay Arun, you can yeah I انت يعني ممكن hit your Simon, yeah. Arun, you can hit your and then oh the nyala. Yeah. So okay, decision in a decision that was made during that time by say Terra. ban naman akitma adari yani chwede naman ban ang yorn da. Our leaders, they are present on that those days. What did they do? عشان كده as a leader, when you are making a decision, you need to think about the impact that will happen on the future. You don't decide for the sake of making decision as a leader. And that is one of the reasons Mabaan County is not going anywhere, because our leaders, they are very rational. They don't think what they are doing will affect the next generation. You see, Father Yumkin, I think one of the reason when we talk about the land issue, uh, we also need to think about how we're going to invest on the human capital, how we're going to invest our people in terms of information, in terms of how they're going to acquire the knowledge that can be able enable them to protect their own land. You see, فده يمكن, I think some of the things, yes, I agree that land is the priority, but also when we talk about the land, we also talk about investment. And that's why I'm asking the question that what can we do differently as a people of that land to make sure that we can build a system that can secure our people, a system that can make our people equally prosper in their own land. I see. And I already mentioned all these things. We need to build a system. We cannot operate without system. If there was a system, then Soitere shouldn't decide alone. They should not decide alone, because it can determine by the system. How many people are going to sit down within. You cannot go alone, because the issue of land is not only one person. Is the Mabaan issue, and that is determined by the Mabaan people. You see, so I think these are the issues that affecting us. Well, we need to make sure that mistakes like that shouldn't happen again on the future. Father Yumkin Ginabalnene, welcome, brother Simon and Harun. You've been listening here down there for Pochin Yumkin and I. We can use all the languages, because we need to make sure that everyone has to understand uh, what we are talking here. We are not hiding anything from anybody, and we want to make sure that all of us, we need to be at the same page, and we need to make sure our county, we shouldn't be relying on the state and the government of South Sudan to build us a system to work for our people. It is us. We have to make sure that our people benefit from our leadership, our knowledge, whatever we do for them in terms of building a system that can improve the lives of our people, that can help the society to think about what they can do for themselves. In that way, we can be able to make sure that our people will have a life, or reflect on the resources that we have for the prosperity of everyone in Mabaan land. So, mumkin bene, and I will give you guys a chance, and then later on, if there is anything I can add it later on. For Simon, welcome, and I'm very happy to see you up here. For I know it is still early there in Australia. Um, Arun, you can go ahead, and then I will give to Simon, and then Nelson. You can go ahead, Arun.
شكرا شكرا فيلمون وبرضو سايمون وبرضو نيلسون وبرضو خلينا ممكن نشكر الناس بتاعكم برضو قاعدين تيت مستمعين كلهم. المهم فيلمون طبعا جينا بين يال طبعا حاجات بالسودان ممكن دار نبطلها طبعا بيزنس وورك بسيطة ممكن طبعا بيزنس طبعا احنا وهن مش أكيد بوقتي طبعا بيزنس كنا بيلك ممكن بيتي بيتي ممكن بوخنون ديفلوبمنت بيل كل واحد بيتي وطبعا بن ما بان يادن طبعا بن كل بيت ريسورس كل توقف على كل جانب يد قابجي وكان برضه ريسورس بتبان ما بان كو برضه يد وانا